you know about Southern California, there's nothing wrong with Chino Hills, but that's a public high school with essentially a celebrity, right? I mean, dude's got his own shoe line. Dude's brother is been the biggest name in the NBA, at least from a rookie standpoint, probably since LeBron. And I don't think I'm wrong when I say that. So, from a standpoint of how wacky the world is right now, I mean, I wouldn't want my, because everybody knows LaMelo goes to Chino Hills. If you want to find LaMelo Ball, you go to Chino Hills. I think, he's already a celebrity, so you kind of treat him with that celebrity status. Now, like I said, maybe put him in a different school, like a Catholic private high school.
St. John Bosco?
Like a lot of other, no, not Bosco. Like other celebrities' kids go to, like Sharif O'Neal, for example, is at Crossroads High School in Brentwood. Stuff like that. Maybe pair him with other, celebrity kids, other famous people's kids. But, I mean, as far as pulling him out of Chino Hills Public High School, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think he still should be getting an education just in case the whole basketball thing doesn't work out. And I also think that this probably ends any talk of LaMelo going to UCLA. I mean, LeVar is such a lunatic to the point where he came out yesterday again, and he said that all three of his sons are going to play for the Lakers. So the only way that's going to happen with how talented LaMelo is to have LaMelo go play overseas for, maybe a year or two after he turns 18, and then sign an international contract with the Lakers. And as far as the middle brother, LiAngelo's not that good. LiAngelo's only a 3-star prospect. He might not start at UCLA this year, so he'll probably go one and done, be undrafted because he's not NBA talent, and probably play in the D-League with the Lakers affiliate, the South Bay Lakers. So, contrary to what you're saying about high school and how much he'd enjoy it, high school is a joke for LaMelo. LaMelo pulled up from half court on half of his shots. I went to one of his games last year. They fired the head coach after one season because the head coach wasn't doing what LeVar wanted him to. So if I'm Chino Hills, I'm kind of happy LaMelo moved on. Yeah. And if I'm LaMelo Ball, I'm happy that, I don't have to go to school with a bunch of regular kids anymore. Sorry.
No, I agree. I think the problem that happened way before this. I think LeVar kind of created too big of a firestorm, and obviously his oldest son is a basketball star. His middle son, like you said, probably won't start. We'll wait to see. But I think everything is going to be messed up for LaMelo. I believe LaMelo is going to have a Kardashian syndrome. I think he's going to be more of a celebrity than a basketball player in 5 years. And I think he'll kind of be, the Frank Stallone of the family. And that's unfortunate because he didn't really have much of a choice. I think all of his decisions were made for him by his father, who loves the attention that he is getting, and he obviously is not going to relinquish any of that limelight for anything, whether it's going to help his youngest son or not. He's all about Lonzo and establishing his brand and making some money. So I don't think really, if he wanted to keep LaMelo in normal high school and have him have a normal life, he would not have done the things he's done the last 2 years to hype up his family. And I think it's going to, whether it ends up being bad for LaMelo, we won't be sure, but I don't think it's going to be good for his basketball career, because I think by the time that LaMelo is going to be a year out of high school, I don't think any really NBA teams are going to be super excited unless somehow he becomes the reincarnate of his older brother.
There's no chance. He looks like he weighs 120 pounds soaking wet. But what was that, Chris?
I said nothing.
All right. Yeah. So breaking news for you. The Yankees have won, so they will move on to play the Cleveland Indians in the American League Divisional Series.
Divisional, yes.
Is that something to celebrate? I wouldn't want to see the.
I mean, if you work at Fox Sports, you're celebrating. Those guys have the entire AL playoffs, and they just got the entire city of New York behind them instead of the entire city of Minnesota.
Although we are watching the celebration. They're celebrating like they won the World Series. Which, hey, I mean, I don't necessarily blame them. Anytime you can get champagne and start spraying in someone's eyes is always a good time. Someone just walked by and he had a bottle of champagne in each one of his back pockets, which, good look. I think that may happen later in this football season in the Cal Poly road tripping. Some champagne drinking. No, but I mean, yeah, it's not really that exciting. I think it's going to be a good series. I think both teams can score. The Yankees have the ability to have as a pitching staff that rivals the Indians, but they haven't really clicked all at once. And obviously, Luis Severino going a full out tonight. So good job by him. A third of an inning, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. So
Gave up 2 home runs in the first inning. Give him the hook.
Yeah, that was surprising. As a little plug here, we're over at California Fresh Market doing the coaches show, living life, getting a couple of sips of beer and some wings. And Chris throwing in a couple sponsors while he's talking to the owner or the general manager of California Fresh Market. Chris, did you hear what he said at the end of that interview? He kind of went.
I don't. What did he say?
He was like, he said the best thing is like the best thing that I can say on air is that I like free beer and free wings. So he was like, he was insinuating that the best thing in life is something he could not say on the radio, which props to him. Props to him for kind of going a little rated R on the Tim Walsh Coaches Show. We needed that to spice things up, I think.
I'm sure Learfield will be thrilled about it.
Speaking of the Coaches Show, I received some negative feedback from folks that shall remain nameless about having the Deli Kid on. Now, let me put it to you like this. Alex has a picture that he just sent me of about, I don't know, the small number of people that came out to the show.
It was a mob.
And I'm gonna look up the listener statistics. The Clutch probably outdraws that by a little. And it'll be a professional call I have tomorrow morning with the person that didn't exactly find having the deli guy on all that professional.
What was that person in attendance?
No.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
I don't know. I felt like I needed to vent about that.
All right. Well, I'm sending you another picture from the Coaches Show. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Chris, good luck in Vegas. Hopefully you win some money between Friday and Sunday when you're not calling the Southern Utah Cal Poly barn burner. And I will see you on Saturday.
Oh, you guys let me go? Is it?
All right, Chris.
Yeah, we the producer just said we got to cut you off. The same person who called you about the unprofessional banter on the Coaches Show just called us and said, "Get him off. Get him off there right now." Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
If you want to call back later when this guy is asleep, then maybe you can. But now you got to go. So.
Okay.
All right,
Chris.
Have a great one.
Safe driving, Chris.
All right. That's Chris Sylvester, voice of the Mustangs. And if you call his cell phone, it will remind you that not only is he the voice of the Mustangs, he is the president of the Prep Sports Network. So I left him a message today because he didn't answer, and I said the play-by-play voice of the Cal Poly Mustangs and president of the Prep Sports Network needs to answer his damn phone. And I hung up.
All right, so we chatted a little bit about the Yankees-Twins game. Let's move on to tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes.
NL wildcard game?
Yep.
We got Rockies, Diamondbacks. We got John Gray, Zach Greinke.
Yep.
We are in Arizona.
Yep.
Neither team has done great on the road, 41-40 records, both of them. Both teams have been pretty good at home, so I got to say I think this tilts the advantage towards the D-backs. Thoughts?
I think the Diamondbacks are definitely favored. They are a minus 160 in the money line. Colorado plus 150. But the main weapon here is sorry, your thing just squeaked and it distracted me. That was very strange. I thought it was someone honking at us outside. JD Martinez has been like if JD Martinez that has been playing for the Diamondbacks this season was healthy a whole 162 games. He might have been the MVP of the National League. And, he has played so well that he's even in the conversation, even though he missed, I think, the first, month of the season. So with him and Paul Goldschmidt in line, 2 MVP candidates going into 2 MVP candidates of the Colorado Rockies, Charlie Blackmon and Nolan Arenado, this could very well outscore tonight's game, which scored 6 runs in the first inning and scored 12 runs total. The over-under for this game, the Las Vegas masterminds have it at 8.5. I think it's going to go over that. I mean, Arizona, it's not Coors Field in Colorado in terms of run scoring, but it's actually pretty darn close. And Zach Greinke's had a great year. John Gray, he's a fine pitcher. He's a 3.67 ERA, but he's not exactly a guy who's going to keep the ball down 100% of the time. So it's going to be interesting to see how many home runs they hit, if they hit as many as they did tonight at Yankee Stadium. So I'm looking forward to that one, and looking forward to be able to watch the whole game instead of having to do work and stuff for the first half.
The only advantage I might see Colorado having is they have a couple of hitters with absolute ownage on Zach Greinke. Those being Jonathan Lucroy, batting .636 with 11 at-bats. Not a huge sample size, but then we go to a huge sample size, 45 at-bats. DJ LeMahieu, batting .311, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. I think and there's other guys who've seen him a lot too. 49 at-bats for Charlie Blackmon, 47 at-bats for Nolan Arenado. These guys have seen Zach Greinke. They've played in his division for a while now, even when Greinke was on the Dodgers. And I think Colorado might be able to put the bat on the ball. And Zach Greinke has had a down year of his sorts, which he's been an incredible starter for quite a while. And we'll see how many runs they can plate. Like you said, it's going to be a high-scoring game. It should be a fun game. Heck, after tonight, the bar has been set.
Yeah.
8-4 game. Everyone's hitting home runs. I think there were 5 home runs. How many? Was it 5 or 6?
Yeah. Let's just do this all postseason long, you know?
Keep hitting the ball long.
Yeah.
Who wants to see pitchers battles?
Actually, you did mention this in the rundown, saying, how this is a crazy game and everything. The thing that I remember most about the playoffs, and maybe this is just because this was during my the most I followed baseball on a day-to-day basis. If you remembered one postseason by a player or a team, what sticks in your mind first? Probably the Giants, because you're a Giants fan.
All 3 of them, baby.
Yeah. For whatever reason, when I think of dominant, fun to watch playoff performances, and don't ask me why, this is just the weird way the brain works, is when Cliff Lee was absolutely decimating people. 14 Ks one game, 15 Ks the next game, 14 Ks the next game. That was the first time, and I was like, oh my God, this person is at a higher plane than everyone else. That's when he was with the Phillies and the Texas Rangers. So I don't know. It can, if a pitcher goes off like that, if Scherzer just turns into an even better version of himself, or somehow Clayton Kershaw, gives up 1 earned run in 21 innings or something.
No chance. He's choker. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep going with it.
Typical Giants fan. So I think what we want to see in sports just overall is, exciting, close games, but we mainly watch, at least in my estimation, we mainly watch to see amazing things happen, amazing feats of athleticism, amazing streaks, amazing stepping up to the plate, no pun intended, and doing it when it counts the most. And if we were to see someone strike out 17 players, or hit 6 home runs in a game, or for a single team, or when Pablo hit 3 home runs in the World Series, that it doesn't really matter who it is, as long as it's something exciting and something thrilling, something that reminds you that these are the best of the best of the best in the world. It's really all you can ask for. So if we have some 13-2 games thrown in there, it obviously is going to do well for the ratings. But every postseason is good in some respect, and tomorrow night's going to be fun. And it's just really going to be fun because a lot of players in both these teams who can hit the ball around, and it's also going to be fun to watch the Dodgers lose in the first round.
I'm so excited to watch the Dodgers lose in the first round. That I've been giddy all year because I just have this gut feeling that as soon as the Dodgers shut up, I don't even want to bring up old podcasts. But as soon as we get to the postseason, I just have a feeling the Dodgers are going to tank. And if you would have asked me that before the miserable stretch they went on, I would have told you, yeah, they're winning the World Series because they were.
You did. You said that on the show.
But they were putting together one of the most historic stretches in baseball, and then Cleveland just said, anything you can do, I can do better. Mm-hmm. And now Cleveland's my pick.
Of course. Well, you were their play-by-play man, the backup play-by-play man.
That was a lot of fun, even though I was terrible at it. But
no, you weren't bad. Breaking news alert for anyone who's an MMA fan, like myself. Max Holloway to defend the featherweight title versus Frankie Old Man Edgar, the main event at UFC 218. That's a big fight for fight fans. Anyway, sorry.